Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. I'm back from my travels for a little while. I'm praying with the help of your prayers that soon I'll be traveling again to see our persecuted brothers and sisters in some of those countries where they've been persecuted most. I'll keep you updated, but please pray for that. I love icons in all their different forms, Russian, Greek, any Orthodox tradition. I've become more and more fond of the Coptic or Egyptian tradition, which is actually called Neo-Coptic iconography, as the Coptic art of iconography had effectively died out until the mid-20th century. As in all traditional icons, the figures are two-dimensional, abstract, not what we would call natural. This is deliberate, as the focus is on God's work and not the glorification of the human body, rather the transfigured body in the kingdom of heaven. The faces of the martyrs, for example, are always at peace, signifying an important spiritual and theological truth. In fact, it could be said absolutely everything about an icon is theological. It's not a work of art or a picture. An icon is a window into the dimension of heaven, an aid to prayer, and in a very profound way, a means of communication with the figures represented. The figure of Christ is always bigger than the saint depicted. Heads are bigger than natural portrayals, signifying the relationship of God with God. And two features are particularly important. The mouth is always smaller, and the eyes and the ears are always larger. I have here my Neo-Coptic icon depicting the gospel passage where Jesus heals the man born blind. It's really a beautiful icon. I'm trying to get it into the camera. There we are. Beautiful icon. Coptic neo-icon. Everything I just described about the theology of icons can be seen in this icon, so I won't repeat myself. But the question remains, why is the mouth smaller and the eyes and ears always larger? Jesus heals many who are both blind and deaf in the Gospels. We have the accounts of some of those healings, but there were obviously many more that were not recorded, as St. John alludes to in his Gospel. However, blindness and deafness also have a profound spiritual meaning apart from the physical. Rather like an icon, the healing of those blind or deaf conveys an eternal truth, an other-dimensional reality. The eyes and the ears in icons are larger because they must, as Jesus says in the Gospels, see and hear. How often does he say, those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear? He speaks many times of the blindness and the deafness of the scribes and the Pharisees, those unable or unwilling to hear his message. The hardness of heart that he condemns and laments is often symbolized by that spiritual blindness and deafness. At baptism, both the eyes and the ears are touched by the priest or deacon, that they will be opened, ready to see and hear the gospel. The mouth is touched, that it may proclaim the good news, but the mouth is smaller in iconography because speaking is less important than hearing and seeing, a good lesson for all pundits and preachers. We should not become downcast or depressed that today many are spiritually blind and deaf, or that perversely there is more speaking and useless talk than ever before. The lessons of the scriptures are that there is an unwillingness to hear and see, even when the truth is standing before you. The gospel message for each one of us is to acknowledge that blindness and deafness is in all of us, and bring it to Jesus for healing. We need to hear and see the difficult teachings of the church with new eyes and new ears, bigger eyes and bigger ears, and speak less of our own thoughts and insights, which might have more of the spirit of the world than that of the gospel. More than that, we need to see with the eyes of Christ, for when he touches our eyes, we should see the world through his eyes, and not our own. That would certainly change our perspective. Brethren, rejoice, be perfected, be comforted, be of the same mind, be at peace, and the God of peace and love will be with you.